Okay, here we are, Chapter 5. Flames in the Mist. The water grew shallow again. Then they were on dry land. The ninjas lowered Jack and Annie down to the ground. "Thanks," said Annie. "Thanks," said Jack. "Squeak," said the mouse. The ninjas said nothing, but they looked around. Jack looked around too. A full moon was rising in the sky. Dark rocks dotted the side of the mountain. Then the ninjas started moving. They went silently up the slope of the mountain between the rocks. Jack and Annie followed them. Jack wasn't afraid of the ninjas now. In fact, he was starting to like them. Maybe they really could help find Morgan. The ninjas moved very silently, but Jack and Annie made plenty of noise. They panted as they climbed the rocky hillside, and their wet sneakers were making squishy sounds. Suddenly, the ninjas froze. Jack could see their eyes darting around. Voices were coming from the valley below. Jack saw torches flaming in the midst. The ninjas started moving faster. Jack and Annie hurried after them. "Who's carrying the torches?" Annie asked. Jack was too out of breath to speak. He also didn't have an answer. They came to a pine forest. The night birds called out. Wind rattled the branches of the trees. The ninjas moved stealthily like ghosts through the forest. They appeared and disappeared through moonlight and shadows. Jack and Annie struggled to keep up with them. Finally, the ninjas came to a stop. One ninja held out his hand as if to say, "Wait." Then both ninjas stepped away into the shadows of the trees, and then they were gone. "Where did they go?" said Annie. "I don't know," said Jack. "Maybe the book can tell us." He pulled the ninja book out of his pack. He turned the pages until he came to a picture of a cave. By the light of the full moon, he read the book. Sometimes ninjas held meetings in hidden mountain caves to plan their secret missions. "Oh man," said Jack, "I bet they went inside a hidden cave." He pulled out his notebook and his pencil and he wrote down, "Meetings in hidden caves." Jack turned the page. He stared at a picture of a ninja sitting on a mat, and he read, "Ninjas took orders from a ninja master. The master was a mysterious, very wise, smart person who knew many secrets of nature." "Wow," whispered Jack. Just then the two ninjas returned. Jack quickly put his books away. The short ninja motioned for Jack and Annie to follow. In the shadows was the entrance of a dark cave. "What's in there?" Annie whispered. "The ninja master," Jack whispered back. Chapter 6. Shadow Warrior. Jack and Annie went into the cave. They followed the ninjas through the darkness. The back of the cave was lit with dozens of candles. Shadows danced on the walls. In the flickering light, Jack saw a dark figure sitting on a woven mat. The ninja master. The ninja bowed to the master, and then he stepped to one side. The master stared at Jack and Annie. "Sit," he said. Jack and Annie sat on the cold, hard floor. "Squeak!" The mouse, Peanut, poked its head out of Annie's pouch. "It's okay, Peanut," said Annie. The master stared at the mouse for a moment, and then he looked at Jack. "Who are you?" he asked. "I'm Jack, and that's my sister Annie," Jack answered. "Here they are, in the cave. Here's the ninja master, and here's the ninja bowing to him. Let's see what happens." "Where do you come from?" said the master asked. "We're from Frog Creek, Pennsylvania," said Annie. "Why are you here?" he asked. "We're trying to help our friend Morgan Le Fay," said Jack. "She left us a message." Annie pointed to the short ninja. "We gave the message to him." "You mean you gave the message to her?" said the ninja master. "And she has given it to me." "She?" said Jack and Annie together. The woman ninja's eyes sparkled. Jack thought she might be smiling. The master held up Morgan's note. "Perhaps I can help you," he said. "But first, you must prove yourselves worthy of my help." Just then, the tall ninja appeared. He made a signal to the master. The master stood up. He handed Morgan's note to Annie. "We must go now," he said. "The samurai warriors are close." "Samurai?" said Jack. He knew that the samurais were fierce Japanese fighters. "Were they the ones in the valley?" Jack asked. "The ones with the torches?" "Yes, our family is at war with them," said the master. "We must leave now before they find us." "But what about helping Morgan?" said Annie. The master strapped on his sword. "I have no time now," he said. "I must go." "Can't we go with you?" said Annie. "No, there is no place for you where we are going. You must find your way back to your treehouse in the trees." "Alone?" said Jack. "Yes, you must go alone, but beware of the samurai." "Why?" said Jack. "They will think that you are one of us," said the master. "They will ask you no questions. They will show you no mercy." "Yikes," whispered Annie. "But you have seen the way of the ninja. You can practice it yourselves now," said the master. "How?" said Jack. "Remember 3 things," said the master. "What are those?" said Jack. The master said, "Use nature, be nature, and follow nature." "I can do that," said Annie. Jack looked at her. "You can?" he said. The master turned to Jack. "Your treehouse lies to the east. That is the way you must go," he said. "How?" wondered Jack. "How do we find the east?" But before he could ask, the master bowed, and then he disappeared into the shadows. The 2 ninjas led Jack and Annie out of the cave into the moonlight. The tall one pointed at the pine forest, and then they too disappeared into the darkness. Jack and Annie were all alone. Be back with Chapter 7, To the East. They have to find their way back to their treehouse. But remember, they have to be nature, use nature, and follow nature. I wonder what that means. See you soon.